The largest local government in Europe, the Birmingham City Council, have gone bankrupt. And in this video, we are going to give you the real reason, something you will not hear from the lamestream media. Hello ladies and gentlemen and all the freedom fighters, welcome to 2CTV. Let's talk about Birmingham. You must have already heard by now what's been reported from Birmingham City Council. Bankruptcy is coming and as usual another incompetent governmental entity that is completely undermining our country and our culture. Now in this video we're going to give you a number of reasons that is a fundamental issue that causes these sort of problems. So we now know that the Birmingham City Council have issued the Section 114 notice. So this whole issue is about them running out of money. But running out of money is one thing. It's about how they can't even manage the existing transactions that they have. Everything goes back to a few years ago, about 10 years ago, and some small problems created a bit of a chaotic situation. Now, in the media, they're going to talk to you guys about what I'm about to say in the first few seconds, but we're going to add to it. So first things first, this Section 114 notice, in case you don't know, it's within the Local Government Finance Act in 1988. It dictates that the Chief Finance Officer of a relevant authority shall make a report under this section if it appears to him that the expenditure of the authority incurred in a financial year is likely to exceed the resources available to meet the expenditure. Essentially, if you're running out of money and about people's money, you're going to have to trigger this. Now, implications of this is also fascinating because you can't really have any more spending, any new spending. It's not allowed. Of course, when it comes to safeguarding vulnerable people, that's fine. Existing commitments and contracts will still be honoured. Council officers must fulfil their duties according to the obviously contractual obligations. Non-essential spending obviously should not occur. And obviously essential spending will be monitored. And allowable expenditure under an emergency protocol exists. That includes obviously the staff, payroll, costs for goods and services and everything else. Now, this is where we are so far. And what we know from the corporate media is about the main issue, which is about obviously the equal pay bill, which the Birmingham still faces about £760 million of it. £760 million that they have to pay, despite the fact that they've already paid £1.1 billion in 2012, so 10, 11 years ago. Now, this whole issue about this equal pay bill was because the lovely Birmingham City Council did a little bit of discrimination when it came to equal pay between the two genders, male and female. Everybody kicked off. A lot of people decided to take legal action and the council lost. And this mostly relates to a lot of their female workers. That includes cleaners and caterers and teaching assistants who were left out by this woke council. But of course, the other male-oriented roles got bonuses. This was simply about the bonuses that were not paid out, essentially, because it was not based on equality. Now, let's add to the problem, because it's not really just about that issue, is it? That issue triggered the bill that they have to still pay, and they're running out of money. But why are they running out of money? That's the main question, isn't it? That the lamestream media are not answering. Well, both the local governments and the central government have gone crazy with net zero, as you guys know. This is the Birmingham's page, a net zero grant program that was launched in April 2023. This is in addition to everything else we've had over the last 10 years. Now, the UK Shared Prosperity Fund and Birmingham City Council are seeking to support businesses in the West Midlands. Now, the whole funding of this, the levelling up department from the central government provided £2.6 billion of funding. £2.6 billion of funding was given to Birmingham, and they were supposed to be spending it by March 2025. Now, all that money is going to go away now because they don't have money. They don't really have anything left. Now, you might say, well, that's technically the money coming from central government. There is no such thing as central government money. So central government is taxing local people every day, taking their money, and local government is also taxing people, And then central government, using the local people, they give it to the local authorities again, and the council then spend it on local people. It makes absolutely no sense, but this is the system we are living under. And so one thing is about the crazy net zero programs and high taxes over the last 10 years. That's one issue. You've had the chaos of the clean air zones, and as obviously we reported on this channel a few months ago, that about 50,000 of the clean air zone fines had to be cancelled and written off because people in Birmingham refused to pay the fines. So the clean air zones is the equivalent to the ultra low emission zones that CityCon has in London. And then a lot of people just decided not to pay, and the local authorities, they decided to send their officers around to chase the money. Then they realized they can't get the money unless they arrest every single person, 50,000 people. So they decided to give up and cancel the fines. So that's how you resist the authorities. So that's also a massive cost to the local council. Well done, you idiots. And then you had all these fundings. Look at this. Oh, they also went completely woke. There was a story that we reported about a couple of years ago, I think, where Birmingham, they were building all these new developments, and they decided to change and create some new road names because of equality and diversity. So we had road names like Destiny Road, Equality Road, Diversity Grove, Respect Way, Humanity Close, and Inspire Avenue. Actually, I quite like Inspire Avenue, but that's kind of the least woke one inside that package. So this, you got the net zero problem, you got the overspending problem, you got the woke agenda problem in Birmingham, and it's Birmingham, by the way. We're not talking about Oxfordshire. Birmingham, and the reason I say Birmingham is because of what I'm about to say next, this one. Birmingham is now amongst the UK's first super diverse cities, with more than half of its residents from ethnic minorities. So we now literally have the second largest city in the United Kingdom, and more than half of people in Birmingham are now from ethnic minorities, basically their backgrounds. So that also creates a different problem. You got a lot of different areas that are isolated, and as we used to call ghettos, but apparently it's politically incorrect. You've got a lot of issues with the cultures that are not compatible. You've got a lot of issues with cash-in-hand jobs, which also creates criminality. And we've already seen a lot of these takeaway shops and certain shops on high streets that has been exposed as essentially a front for money laundering and drug dealing and everything else. It always happens in urbanized areas. It's a city problem anyway, but you have a lot of diverse backgrounds and everybody else. So that's one issue. Then you've got a lot of corrupt local elections, and it has also a different problem with the local political parties. And you wonder why, when the council goes woke, there's a backlash from people, the same people that the woke people think they can actually embrace, because they're going to vote Labour anyway. But then the people who are working in the local councils are incompetent, or maybe dodgy. This is why they're running out of money. It's not just because of the equal pay bill, it's more than that. It's because of what's been going on over the last decade or so. So, in a statement, the council leader, John Cotton, mentioned that the authority is experiencing financial strains because of problems with the rollout of its Oracle IT system. Originally designed to enhance council payments and HR processes, this primary system had an initial budget of £19 million. However, after a 3-year delay, it was disclosed back in May that the expenses might soar to as much as £100 million. Did I say $90 million or pound? It's pound. If I said dollars, it's pound. £100 million, right? So you have also that to deal with, and everything else I've already mentioned. And they're going around saying, well, it's just because of the equal pay bill. No, it's not. You've been misusing taxpayers' money and stealing it and completely misspending it. And it's not the only one. It's all the left-wing local councils. You've got Croydon Council that declared bankruptcy for the 3rd time in 2 years. That was in South London. That faced the existential question after asking ministers to write off a £1.3 billion worth of debt. We also had in Nottingham a couple of years ago, back in 2020, that they were at risk of bankruptcy a number of times. They were also running out of money. We also had Slough going bankrupt after discovering £100 million a black hole in their budget. And the similarities between all these local councils are, oh yes, it's run by socialists. Every single council is run by a bunch of socialists who don't know how to manage public budgets. Anyway, so I thought I'll make a video and challenge what we are seeing in corporate media today, because everything else I've heard from the likes of BBC and Sky and all the other channels, it's been nonsense. They're not talking about the true problem, the deep issue that is cultural and economics. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure to share this video with everybody, especially in Birmingham. I'm Maya Toosey, and we are the media.